Overnight, China announced $1.4 trillion in stimulus over 5 years. Eunice Yoon joins us now. We said we were going to go to China and actually see the stimulus package. Do you have it right there with you, Eunice?
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Joe. There could be more announcements in the next hour or so, but so far, China's long-awaited stimulus is not what investors had been hoping for. You mentioned the headline number. It's big, $1.4 trillion, but that money is not being used to stimulate demand. 60% of it is going to local governments to issue new bonds over 3 years, including this year, to pay off what the government calls hidden debt. So this is off-balance sheet debt, debt that hasn't been recognized, which has been a primary source of risk in this economy. In addition, local governments will be allowed to issue more special bonds over 5 years to raise more funds for, again, the same purpose. The finance minister signaled that China would be open to the idea of expanding its fiscal deficit next year, so implying that there could be greater stimulus then. But so far, the stimulus that we're hearing is going to mainly come from refinancing that debt at the local level. And so the finance minister said this would free up about $85 billion over 5 years so the local governments can spend more. But there is nothing in the plan that puts money in the hands directly of consumers or companies, therefore stimulating demand. And that's one of the reasons why you saw the stocks selling off so much, all these the Chinese ETF in pre-market, as well as Alibaba and others.
A lot of stimulus. We stimulating ourselves a little yesterday with Jay Powell and another quarter point or this week. Eunice, I don't know what that does. It's a time that I think is fraught with uncertainty. We always say that more than usual. Can you update us on what kind of relationship we're going to see between the president-elect and President Xi? That's a weird one. Trump has said very sort of complimentary things about Xi, how smart he is and how he exerts, kind of scary when he says that he admires the way someone exerts that much control over so many people. But you got the Taiwan issue and we want to onshore a lot of stuff. It's just you must be. Can you sleep at night? There's a lot for you to be thinking about.
Well, there's definitely a lot of uncertainty, and there have been several research houses that expected that this stimulus plan could even be bigger than what the policymakers originally wanted. Nomura had said that it could be 10 to 20% larger than expectations. We don't know whether or not that's going to come to fore because we are still waiting to see if anything else is announced. But in terms of the relationship between Xi Jinping and President-elect Trump, as you said, the one thing you had mentioned, tariffs. So President-elect Trump had said that he would hit China with 60% tariffs. That would be very disruptive to the economy, something that China would not want to see, especially at this time when they have a jobs problem and excess capacity in several different industries. At the same time, President-elect Trump has signaled to Xi Jinping that he could potentially do a few things that the Chinese would welcome, such as a softer approach with Russia's Putin, for example, which is a chief ally of China, maybe a weaker position on Taiwan, which also Beijing would appreciate. And then President-elect Trump has expressed contempt for the allies. So in that way, China could potentially benefit from a lack of coordination and this coordinated front that they are seeing for their trade practices, especially on, say, EVs, for example.